Coming up, we've got Aaron Rodgers, as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the Jags and the Colts, next on Madden Football.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Rodgers going to the air to start things out. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. These two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give right side. Flanagan. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Matt Ioannidis pulling his way in and sticking him to the turf.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And a peek at the man under center. He has 5 full years in the league under his belt, now in year number 6. They start on the ground with Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 12 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
From the 41, Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Draw play, Elliott. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down. The Colts at 11-3 on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Jones. And his throw is incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Playing the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Gay's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Rodgers' throw complete there to Beckham. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Still a lot to be determined in terms of their final seeding. We do know they'll be in the playoffs, but in what shape, what capacity, we're not sure. But here, ready for a sports cliche, then just take them one game at a time, right?
And they have to. And look, the thing about cliches, they've been proven over time. All right, we know that. So, yes, take it one game at a time, but make sure that there's no let-up, no getting off the gas, right? No mental letdowns, because each one is important for them to accomplish their goals.
Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jones looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Throwing, Jones. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Osborne. That is brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down. They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 4th and 2. They got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Jones. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
The running lane's a simply not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Off the play fake. Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he'll go underneath here to Elliott. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 17-yard line. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The quick slant caught. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they come up now 2nd and goal. Elliott is going to take this one in for a Colts touchdown. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
So that drive spans 13 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And now out come the Jags. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 27, Rodgers. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the right side and complete to Thomas. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones in trouble, and he's taken down. Ochinonuwosu, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Two yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. From the 31, Rodgers. It's brought in by Harris. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
This will be fielded at the 17, and he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Jones. Throw caught there by Osborne.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He gets this one to Boyd. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Jones on 1st down. And that's Elliott, complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Tenth carry now for Elliott. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think they'll have this drive a little bit better there. Picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Juwan Bentley there to get him down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Jones. A quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
That one complete to Elliott. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Elliott. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, we'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Working from the gun. Rodgers over the middle to Beckham. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Rodgers now on 1st down. Again, it's OBJ, back-to-back catches. He's going to be brought down there in the field of play, and the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on the...
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Jones now Throwing on first down. Over the middle, he's got Myers. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Elliott. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Off play action. Jones. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. He'll take it inside the 25.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Osborne. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Now Elliott. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
The yardage numbers for him just keep piling up for his career. He's now toppled, Charles, the 11,000-yard mark.
And just think about that. For most NFL running backs in their career, it feels like if they get to 1,000 yards, they've had a nice little run. He's over 11,000 yards, probably beyond his wildest dreams.
Again, it's Elliott. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Daniel Jones scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. On first down, Rodgers. It's caught by OBJ. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first down, Flanagan, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Rodgers. He gets it complete to Harris. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here to Kmet. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Flanagan. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Colts pick it up. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. To throw again on second down. Rodgers. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught left side, it's Beckham.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now Rodgers, got to have this one. He finds his man, complete. That's Ramsey.
And he is going to have the Jaguars first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Flanagan, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. They have gone to the 4th quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Mitchell.
And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down now, Flanagan. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Rodgers going to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's now 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st down, here's Mitchell. Asante Samuel Jr. that time up to make the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Another run with Mitchell.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Colts, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with